What is up with it? Today we are back with a high ranked ladder game. This was played while I was about top 10 on ladder. And it's going to be green purple Luffy versus black Rob Lucci. Winning the die roll, choosing to go second. We have an opening hand of Sanji and Pudding, two Namis, a Zorojuro, and a Giant. I imagine we keep this with the, yeah, we absolutely do, with the Rob Lucci electing the mulligan. Have a few good cards here. Honestly, all of these are good options. I'm gonna have to take the Going Merry, though, as I do think that is probably the most pivotal card in the matchup. And we're kind of stacking up these Giants. Don't actually need three of these, especially in this matchup. Most of the time you can get away with 1 to 2. In this matchup, you might literally not need a single one, so not great. We are going to have to pass up a Luffy Taro here, which isn't ideal, but we can probably make do. I do think we're probably supposed to grab this Zorojuro, but maybe, maybe if we're only on one Luffy Taro, there is an argument to grabbing it. It's definitely possible. Kenny gonna go ahead and swing 5, which we'll take, and never punish, baby. We'll just find the Luffy Taro off the top. That's all you gotta do. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There is an argument that maybe we should have countered this one, as we do only have one real combo in our hand, and we are going to be tapping out this turn. But maybe deciding to take just because we know we won't be taking any damage anytime soon. But I do think overall we probably are supposed to combo on that 5, that last one. And we have officially found all 4 Sanji and Pudding. So we're going to have a lot of gas for the rest of this game. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on 1.5. So gonna go ahead and swing 5. Yep, as we thought, not taking any damage this turn. Just gonna go ahead and put the Jack on board. And we can go ahead and Luffy Taro combo here. Should probably go either 10 or 11 at it. 11 is a little scary because we truly do have 0 combo power in our hand. If we did, however, counter that hit earlier, we probably would have been allowed to swing 11 at this Jack. Because when you're at 2 life, like, their split is so bad, there's just no way they can ever try to go for game. Even though we have infinite bricks in hand, like, they'd have to go like 8, 10, 8, 10, 10 into our 12 card hand at that point. And like, that's just never getting it done. And they're not really allowed to go for it. But gonna go ahead and KO with Sanji and Pudding, and then Mansherry KO this Sanji and Pudding. And we are extremely fortunate, so we're going to go ahead and pick up a green Zoro off the top. Very lucky here. Definitely wanting to get rid of the Mansherry and the Shirahoshi, no doubt. And then we just kind of have to figure out what size swing we can do at the Jack. We'll have access to 11 Dawn, basically. Oh, okay, so maybe not even gonna play a Sanji and Pudding this turn, just to ensure that we can get rid of this Jack. And gonna go ahead and jam the Jack for 12. And then actually, we could swing over the Brook, or we could swing over the Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi not really protecting anything. And KOing the Brook does help us play around Tenzon, as this is his Tendon turn. Gonna go ahead and go 8 at life. And we're just gonna take like an absolute sicko. And there's the jack. That could potentially be problematic. He also just pitched a 1k counter, so we're not expecting any bricks in hand at this point. This is definitely an awkward turn. We have 8 Dawn. Okay, okay. Going with the Usahachi, so that way we can swing 10 at the jack, and then we can just swing over the Shirahoshi. I'm wondering if this was actually... We did spend 3 Dawn on this Usahachi. I guess it's probably fine, as long as the opponent doesn't go for game. Which, to be honest, I think they probably should. They're probably just supposed to jam here twice. It's not that good, though. I mean, he gets to go 12 here, and that theoretically takes 4 cards out of our hand. 4 2Ks nonetheless. But elected not to go for it. He would have actually just won the game on the spot because we are so bricked. But we did play a 2K on the board. So maybe that kind of tells our opponent, like, hey, I just have infinite counter in my hand. I kind of like starting with just an 8 here. I'm wondering if in any of the previous turns we could have just been throwing 8s at this. Not sure. I'm just gonna pass 3 Dawn open. And have to imagine the opponent is gonna try and jam here a lot of the time. Yep. Not that surprising. Yeah, go ahead and pitch the 0 cost. We might actually play out the Zorojuro in certain worlds. I don't think we're going to need that Rush Luffy for a little while. Should probably just double 2 here, keeping the blocker. Yeah. And here we can just go ahead and go 8 at the jack. Yeah, and I think this game is just infinitely harder because we didn't 1K that 5 really early in the game. So something to keep in mind. We can go ahead and pick up a blocker that's pretty sick, and then we can play it. And I don't even think we have to leader skill here. Oh, but I guess it's free if we play the Frankie. Okay. Okay. That's true. That's true. It is free if we play the Frankie. And then the Frankie can also get us Dawn again next turn. So pretty reasonable to leader skill there. We, however, don't have any more natural counter in our hand, so we are going to have to actually just block this. Effectively spend 3 Dawn to save a card, so in a weird way, that Sanji was basically like a Sanji's peel-off. The opponent only clearing the Sanji and pudding. We can go ahead and go 4 at 4 here. Now the question is, do we want to push a damage this turn? I lean towards no. I lean towards what if we just radio knife pop the Lucci and play the Sanji again? And we can boost it, make sure we don't die. And then maybe we start pushing damage next turn. Yeah, get a brick out of our hand. Might as well just keep boosting this Sanji. We really cannot afford for it to be removed cheaply or we lose. Also very fortunate that the opponent has not found a Tenzon. Tenzon definitely would be very problematic for us. Okay, plays down the jack. The good news is it's been enough turns now that we've actually been able to get our Dawn back. And we're going to be able to cycle some of these bricks, which is going to be really huge. This might be a situation, yeah, where we actually only cycle one brick. I think I like boosting the Zorojuro here. But you could definitely convince me it's the Luffy Taro. That is by far the most important body we have. And just gonna go ahead and pass with 4 Dawn up. And the opponent is going to go ahead and just go 18 with Jack. This is technically better into Hell's Judgment, but I actually don't think this is the correct way to do this swing. If anything, I prefer 6. Honestly, I would have even liked just starting with like an 8. Probably not. But probably 6-15 or 6-17. I like more than just an 18. Check to see if we have a 1k counter in our hand. And here we just have to go for lethal. There's not really any world we can ever survive. I think going like 6-9, 6-9. I think that's. I think it's 10, 6-9, 10. Okay, but they counter, so we have to implement another 6. They did give us, or we started with a 7, and then the 6 went through, and then the 8 went through, and that Frankie was able to generate us a Dawn, so we can go 9, and they are bricked up. There's the 2 Tenzons. Very fortunate for us that those were probably in their life. Very weird game. Way, way, way harder. This is a long blood. My bad. Way, way, way harder because we took this damage right here. If we just counter this one, we're not on like a knife's edge for like 50 million turns in a row. And the game is infinitely easier. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.